Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. Doesn't hit as hard, you know what I mean?
No, no, and there's certain places where you pay more when they take the teeth out. But anyway, that's a very, very different episode. Um,
Uh, Hey, everybody out there. Welcome back to another Friday viewer request installment of the Audiophiles. John, how you doing over there, man?
so good, so good.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's try to keep that going. I've got a request here for you to go off and listen to a tune that Arthur Woolwill has offered up to us. And this is a band that I'm pretty familiar with. I did a lot of listening to these guys in the sort of like the 2000 teens. I haven't listened to them in a little bit, but I am familiar with this song. The band is called Of Monsters and Men. Are you familiar with that band?
No, that would have been a different novel by Steinbeck, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Um, it feels like a quote though of Monsters and Men.
Yeah, it does sound like it's part of something. I don't really know if it is or it isn't. Maybe Arthur or somebody else can throw that out there, but it does sound like a truncated version of some longer quote from something. You're right. The track that you're going to go off and listen to is called Wolves Without Teeth. So give it a listen and come back and let Art and the gang know what you think. And hopefully you enjoy it.
10-4.
Open my chest and color my spine. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all. Swallow my breath and take what is mine. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all.
I'll be the blood if you be the bones. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all. So lift up my body and lose all control. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all. You hover like a hummingbird, hug me in my sleep. You say from another world, sinking in my sea. Oh, feeding on my energy, letting go of it. She won't say. And I run from wolves. Breathing heavily at my feet, and I run from wolves tearing into me without teeth.
I can see through you. We are the same. It's perfectly strange. You run in my veins. How can I keep you inside my lungs? I breathe.
That's interesting. Yeah, really good start. So it's a duet between this bloke and this lass. There's really interesting imagery going on. I'm not catching all the lyrics, but his first line I wrote down was "Open my chest." Make sure you wash your hands first. Something about swallow my breath as well. And then she comes in. They're both singing, I'm giving you up, I'm giving you up. And then the chorus, obviously, it's going on about these wolves. It feels like it's kind of me and you against the world type song. Shit going down, but what we got together is worth more than that. And hopefully we'll beat it all. That's the vibe I'm getting anyway. I'm really liking the drums. It's very simple, but it's just giving that sort of elemental beat to it. Just as we went into the second verse, there was that really nice high guitar picking, that do 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 do, which again I really like. There's bits and pieces. I feel like I'm missing stuff here, but it's just really interesting. It's got a familiarity to it as well. Like it sounds like something else I've heard, but not overly familiar. It's interesting. And then just as I paused, it says something about his lungs as well. So there's real visceral imagery there. Yeah, interesting. I'll just pop it back a sec. I want to hear what he said properly.
You run in my veins. How can I keep you inside my lungs? I breathe what is yours. You breathe what is mine.
You hover like a hummingbird, put me in my
I like her
sleep.
voice.
You say they're from another world, sinking in my sea.
Oh, you're feeding on my energy, letting go of it. He what we say. And I run from wounds.
So I just had a thought. Let's just go back a little bit. Sorry about pissing around, but
My energy, letting go of it. He what we say.
if you scrubbed out the vocals here, there's a little bit of it that sounds a bit like the XX, that sort of stripped back sound. Just the instrumentation here.
And I run from wounds. Breathing heavily in my feet. And I run from wounds. Tearing into me without teeth. And you can follow. You can follow me. You can follow. You can follow me. You hover like a hummingbird, hug me in my sleep. You say they're from another world, sinking in my sea. Oh, you're feeding on my energy, letting go of it. She won't say. And I run from ooh, breathing heavily in my feet. And I run from wolves, ooh, tearing into me without teeth. And you can follow. You can follow me. You can follow. You can follow me. You can follow. You can follow me. You can follow. You can follow me.
Ah, God, that went by quick. 4 minutes. I was fully prepared for another verse and chorus there. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was really didn't have any expectations, so it's really surprising anyway. There was a bit in that where before it dropped down the 3 minute mark, there was this drive with a bit more vocals, and it kind of reminded me. I have to check, but I think it had that same sort of drive for that first Florence and the Machine album, that sort of sound to it as well. And then the bits and the instrumental where it was stripped back were definitely reminded me of the XX. But they used all the techniques there. The guitars come in were really nice, and then there's a dropout. The drums, again, really simple, but really sort of driving and effective. Yeah, this is Tick Tick Tick. And her voice is really, really nice. It wasn't shabby, but I liked her voice a lot. Yeah, interesting. And just loads and loads of imagery. I mean, when I stopped, it was lungs, and when I restarted, it was veins as well, and tearing without teeth and stuff. Yeah, really interesting. Right, let's get the lowdown from Andy.
All right, welcome back.
Mhm.
You made it despite the wolves and the monsters and the men. What do you say to this one?
The gummy wolves.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They still have claws, man.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. Doesn't hit as hard, you know what I mean?
No, no. And there's certain places where you pay more when they take the teeth out. But anyway, that's a very, very different episode.
Oh, you Europeans.
Have you not watched the HBO series Oz? Anyway,
Yeah, she's
I
literally
believe that was
watching
set
it
in
upstairs.
America.
She's watching it upstairs right now. It's funny you mentioned that.
Anyway, yeah, wow. So this song, we get away from that and that image from Shawshank as well. But yeah. So immediately with this song, right from the very first, there's this visceral imagery. The opening line, open my chest and carve out my spine or something like that anyway. So we know we're in for a fun, light-hearted little ditty. So the first part when it starts is like drum beats and piano and acoustic guitar chording, strumming together on the one of the beat. There's a really nice sound to it, and the two, mesh lovely as a standard thing, but they do. The chap, the male singer, the vocalist of the Standing Up While Pissing Persuasion, sings a few lines. Of which there's that opening couplet's one of them, and then the female voice has her part. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with his voice, but I really like the tone and character of hers. There's like an airiness to it, but also almost a slight breaking or cracking of a voice, not uncontrollable, and it conveys fistfuls of emotion. And it's at that point it struck me that I would say exactly the same of the band, the XX. I think I have. And then some of the other gentler parts of the song have a musical similarity with them as well. So I was getting XX vibes in parts of this song. So anyway, they sing their bit, she sings her bit, and both of them end their parts with "I'm giving you up" repeated, which I think is very interesting. Then it goes to like a pre-chorus bit, and the bass joins in, sounds lovely, and the drums become a bit more elemental, and there's some sea imagery. The words are coming, I'm recognizing them, and then they go in, but I'm having a lot more fun listening to the music actually, so I'm not really taking in a lot of the words. But there's a lovely piano going on as well, and both the drums and the piano give like a bit of impetus, as you would expect, to the onrushing chorus. And the chorus is really led by these rhythmic drums and these massive chords. And it's really catchy and it's super big. And you're out of the chorus into the next verse, and there's this as you're coming into the next verse, there's this really quite slight high guitar picking going on, which wouldn't be out of place in the Edge's notebook playbook. Sorry, it's definitely of that sort of thing. And it's a really nice little detail that I really liked. This point I noted down because it goes, I'm a bit all over the place with my notes, but there's loads more imagery in the song that was this visceral type. So we said about open my chest and spine, and he says swallow my breath, and they mentioned blood and bones, and about the walls tearing into me. And then I stopped it at this point and was like, saying, oh, it just said something about, inside my lungs. And then when I restarted it, it said something about running in his veins or something as well. So I'm getting flashes of the words, but the nature of the duet makes me feel that it's kind of like a me and you against the world type song. So outer forces may be destructive, but you got to think the way they're describing things, that the intensity of their own relationship may also be a little bit troubling. And walls without teeth is perhaps making out something to be more dangerous than it really is, or it's a problem which actually isn't that much of a problem. And is that an excuse to magnify the intensity of the relationship? It just doesn't bode well anyway. So back to the music. It's another verse, and there's definitely a load more XX vibe. and then a massive chorus again, which gets even bigger when they sing "You Can Follow Me" and repeat it, with this nice, lovely electric guitar sort of climbing upwards and upwards, more backing vocals coming in, and the pan of the piano and the drums, and it's all swelling up. And of course, it breaks down, as you would expect, to just the piano and the acoustic guitar. And again, it sounded really nice. And then boom, back into this massive chorus. And at that point, I'm thinking it's got some of that sort of similar drive that you get from early Florence and the Machine. I was thinking like Dog Days Are Over in particular, that track. It's very, very similar in the way it sounds and goes. And I really like that. And then it just kind of really peters out fairly suddenly, actually, and we're kind of washed ashore, as it were. This really flew by. It could have been, I could have done with another verse and another couple of courses easily. I really enjoyed this, actually. It had that familiar sound to it. So I'm guessing there's other bands or stuff I've heard which is of a similar ilk, as it were, and those excess references and Florence and the Machine. But it's not to say that it was derivative in any way. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good choice, Arthur. Andy, sorry, I can't hear you. Bear with me 1 second. It might be my buds playing up.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can now.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I was actually on mute from coughing, and I thought I had unmuted myself. So I had a coughing fit right as you were wrapping up, and I thought I unclicked it, but I guess I didn't. My bad. I'll just start over with what I was going to say. Yeah, this was a really good pick by Arthur. And I'm glad that they're now on the channel. I've got a couple in that I had in mind to bring as well, but now that this one's off the table, I've got others that I could probably bring down the line in the future. So I'm glad you enjoyed them. They are a really interesting, talented band, and the dynamic between the two vocalists is always something that has stood out to me in their songs. And you're right, there's this interesting quality to her voice. His voice is great, but there's something more intriguing to her voice, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the wispy kind of impish nature of it. There's something like whimsical, almost fantastical about her voice, the way it sounds to me.
It's like strength and weakness at the same time.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I guess with that, there's also it makes when she sings about vulnerability or any of these human conditions where we are capable of strength and fragility, that much more convincing or interesting to hear it from a voice like that, right? So yeah, big fan of her voice. They of Monsters of Men, they are an Icelandic indie folk / rock band formed in 2010. And please, everyone, especially you folks from Iceland, bear with me as I try with these names. It consists of lead singer and guitarist Nana Bryndis Hilmarsdóttir, singer and guitarist Ragnar Thorolfsson, lead guitarist Brynjar Leifsson, drummer Arnar Rosenkrantz Hilmarsson, and bassist Christian Paul Christiansen. So that is the lineup. I'm sure I said it absolutely perfectly. Their 2011 debut album, My Head is an Animal, reached #1 position in Australia, Iceland, and Ireland, as well as on the US rock and alternative charts, peaking at #6 on the US Billboard 200 album chart, #3 in the UK, and top 20 of most European and Canadian charts. Its lead single, Little Talks, was an international success, reaching the top 10 in most music charts in Europe, including #1 in Ireland and Iceland and #1 on the US Alternative Songs chart. Their sophomore album, on which this features, Beneath the Skin, was released on June 8th in 2015 in Iceland and a day later in the rest of the world. It debuted at #3 on the US Billboard 200 and sold 61,000 copies in its first week, becoming the band's highest charting album in the country. The album was nominated for Best Box or Special Limited Edition Package at the 58th Annual Grammy Awards. Beneath the Skin received generally positive reviews from critics. Madison Vane of Entertainment Weekly stated, Lyrics brim with woodsy imagery, and sweet vocals elevate these campfire tunes into something extravagant. And with that said, I'm going to get into some of those lyrics by jumping into them right now. Open my chest and color my spine. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all. Swallow my breath and take what is mine. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all.
Yeah.
I'll be I'll be the
Fair
blood
enough.
if you what's that?
That's a fair enough.
Yeah,
Totally got that wrong.
give it a good college effort. I'll be the blood if you'll be the bones. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all. So lift up my body and lose all control. I'm giving you all. I'm giving you all. You hover like a hummingbird, haunt me in my sleep. You're sailing from another world, sinking in my sea. Oh, you're feeding on my energy, letting go of it. She wants it. And I run from wolves, oh, breathing heavily at my feet. And I run from wolves, oh, tearing into me without teeth. I can see through you. We are the same. It's perfectly strange. You run in my veins. How can I keep you inside my lungs? I breathe what is yours. You breathe what is mine. You hover like a hummingbird, haunt me in my sleep. You're sailing from another world, sinking in my sea. Oh, you're feeding on my energy, letting go of it. He wants it. And I run from wolves, oh, breathing heavily at my feet. And I run from wolves, oh, tearing into me without teeth. And you can follow me. You can follow, you can follow me. You hover like a hummingbird and haunt me in my sleep. You're sailing from another world and sinking in my sea. Oh, you're feeding on my energy, letting go of it. She wants it. I run from wolves, oh, breathing heavily at my feet. And I run from wolves, oh, tearing into me without teeth. And you follow me. You can 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 follow. You can follow me. So those are the lyrics, and I have a little write-up here. Bernard Simon of oldtimemusic.com writes, the song Wolves Without Teeth by Of Monsters and Men is an enchanting and thought-provoking composition that offers listeners a glimpse into the band's creative storytelling prowess. With its evocative lyrics and captivating melody, the song explores the complexities of human nature and society's reluctance to confront harsh realities. In this song, the phrase wolves without teeth serves as a metaphor for individuals or groups that may appear fierce or threatening at first glance, but lack the bite or substance to back up their claims. It portrays a world where people put on a facade of strength and power, but underneath, they are vulnerable and weak. So yeah, it kind of goes, I think you were picking up on that, and her voice was conveying it, as we said before we jumped into the lyrics here. But yeah, really, really good song. And they do have this penchant for tapping into the natural world through either, like, whether it's a direct reference or a metaphorical reference. And I don't know, maybe it's part of the culture and you know, like Norse culture and mythology that came with it and all that stuff. So regardless of that, it's a really, really good song, and I think it's really well written and well performed. She's got a great voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Icelandic mythology. I do remember reading some stuff about it through Neil Gaiman,
Yeah.
but it didn't stick, whatever it was. There was a story about the guy who bit his own shadow off. Well, that's as much as I remember, which is quite a cool idea straight away when you think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And in the graphic novel,
Absolutely.
you see him just bending down and it bit the heel of his shadow off. It went one way and he went the other.
Yeah.
That might not even be the Icelandic thing I'm thinking of, but there you go. Yeah, but I mean, as soon as you said that about they're from Iceland, and then you started reading the lyrics, I'm sort of picturing their landscape, and then the sort of the rocks and the sea and this coastal image as well. And I'm not sure if Iceland had wolves. I know obviously all of mainland Europe did and Britain did back in the day. I imagine they would have been part of it. So any sort of culture to do with that as it sort of came off. I don't know if Iceland came from Europe or came from continental America. I don't know which, but I'm sure they got legends about it. Yeah, just so straight away, as soon as you said Iceland, you started picturing all this stuff as you were reading it out. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, there is
Yeah, it's
something,
impressive.
I don't know, some lore or attraction to it when you hear Iceland, because you're like, oh, you think of all some of, like, I read that Gaiman book as well, and you're right, not everything hit with me or stayed with me, but there's some really awesome, like, evocative shit that goes on in Norse
Yeah.
mythology. So of course I kind of like, whenever your brain, I guess, tends to go, run with this a little bit when you hear that they're from Iceland. So yeah, this is a really good pick, Art, and I'm glad that you offered it up to us, and I'd love to bring some more to the channel perhaps down the line. John, thanks for giving this a listen, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, everybody out there in the listening audience, let us know what you thought of Monsters and Men. If there's other tracks by them you'd like us to check out, or any other artists and songs you'd like us to scope out, please feel free to use the comment section. It's there for a reason, and we love to gather all this stuff. And Fridays are, I mean, as much as our egos get a trip over sharing our own tunes and listening to each other's stuff, I think Fridays we really come to look forward to, because it's fun to get other people involved and other artists and songs involved in the Audiophiles lexicon here. So keep them coming, guys. We really do appreciate you. Also, while we have your attention, please like, share, and subscribe if you be so inclined. We're trying to grow the audience, and we can't do that without y'all, and we really, really do appreciate that. All that out of the way, John and I hope to see all y'all and a growing population on the next episode of the Audiophiles. See you later, guys.